Hey there, who here is feeling like they're in a funk? This funk could be 6 months long, it could be a day long, it could be this current hour. You've just been in this funk. So what I want to talk about today is how we get ourselves out of these funks when we're in a bad mood and can't shake it. Because honestly, this pandemic, it is no joke. You've probably heard me call it the Corona coaster before. You know, sometimes we're up and we're fine. We're like, homeschool and I got this. I love working from home. I love the Zoom workouts. And then some days, I had this day recently, I can't do another Zoom. I can't stare at my place anymore. I can't stare at myself. And you just hit a wall and you need to shake it up. I had this experience, I shared it yesterday. I appreciated everyone commenting on it as well because we're all going through this. And this is starting to affect our mood, our health, our well-being. You might even start to get a little depressed. So let's talk about how to get out of a funk when you're feeling a little down. Number one, sit with it. I know you're probably not going to be too happy to sit with it. You've been sitting with it for 6 months. You're done. I'm going to have you sit with it in a different way. I want you to have a different relationship with the pain or the emotions, the heavy feelings that you're experiencing it. Because if we don't go through it, we have to go through it. We have to go through it, not around it. Because what we resist persists. So think about it. You might be experiencing anger or frustration, but what's underneath that? Dig a little deeper, feel it in your body. I always like to see where the heaviness is in my body. For me, it's usually in my chest. I hold my breath, I stop breathing. So feel it, close your eyes, see where it lives in your body, see where the pain is. And then just try to breathe into it. Try and release it, because for me, my chest gets super tight, so I breathe into it and I can physically relax it, and that will help you. Just sitting and breathing, extending your exhale longer than your inhale, that sends a message to your nervous system, to your sympathetic nervous system. We're okay. We don't need to freak out. We are physically okay, because sometimes our brain gets crazy and they think, oh my gosh, this is now what's gonna happen. This is horrible. Taking long, slow, deep breaths can send the signal, we're okay. So feel it in your body, feel where it is. Maybe you talk to it if you want to. Talk to it like it's your child who's in pain. And gosh, you'd be really nice to your child. You wouldn't be like, oh gosh, you need to stop thinking like that. Feel it, because you want to get under the fear and the frustration. And then you might find, yeah, no, it's loneliness. It's loneliness what I'm feeling. And when you can identify the core emotion, and this can take a little time, but when you get to the root of it, then you can start to take steps. I hate to see people push things away, because when you push a feeling or an emotion away, pop right back up. So if you're like, oh, that's the frustration I get when I can't control what everyone around me is doing. So you can see it like, oh, I'm frustrated, and I'm gonna start yelling, and I'm gonna start getting upset with everyone because they're not doing what I wanna do. So then you can create some alternate behaviors from there with small steps. But the first step is to feel the emotion, feel where it lives in your body, identify what the core emotion is, and then you take little steps from there. Okay, number 2, change your environment. When I'm feeling super stuck and I'm just staring at my computer thinking, oh my God, you've gotta think of something creative to write or something fabulous to write. You ever do that and come up with a great idea while you're staring at your computer screen, just, I gotta do it? I'm gonna guess that you don't. So for me, when I'm having a creative block and I'm sitting staring at a computer thinking I've got to be creative, that's when I know I have to move. I have to change my environment. That can be taking a walk, it can be calling someone, it can be doing some jumping jacks, it can be putting my favorite song on. I have to get out of the state. And it's not like I'm thinking about it when I do these things. I often like to take a walk. I think about nothing. Sometimes I bring music, sometimes I don't. And I'll just start to admire nature or whatever it is, and then suddenly the thought will come to me. So changing your environment can help change your emotions and your feelings. So I highly recommend that. And you know how you always have so many great ideas when you're in the shower? It's because you're not sitting there with a to-do list thinking, oh, I have to do all this stuff today. You're just kind of in there doing your thing. Your mind is elsewhere. So think about how you can change your environment, whether it's walking, just taking a drive, go drive somewhere different, see something different. That can inspire different things. So try that because it's helpful. You can get a new perspective from a new location. So put yourself in a new location. Okay, so you're gonna sit with the feelings. You can try changing your environment to get yourself out of a rut. Number 3, reach out to someone. Yeah, when we're frustrated, and I know I've been upset lately because this isn't the life I'm used to, right? I'm used to lots of friends and going out and doing stuff. So my frustration lately has been coming from just a loneliness, right? Of missing what used to be, right? Missing my friends and seeing them and hugging them and all of that. So when that's happening to me, I realize, okay, I can't hug my friends right now. I can't go out for happy hour. I mean, you can make your own happy hour. I've been doing lots of picnics outside. That's actually one of my favorite things to do is go out for a picnic, go sit outside, have a friend come, bring our own stuff. But if you can't do that, call a friend. I know it seems so easy, and it is so easy, but we get in our heads and we get so frustrated, and then that loop goes like, oh, this is horrible, and I don't want to be around anyone, I don't want to talk to anyone. But really, that is the best antidote, is to reach out. A, just to express yourself, express what you're feeling, or B, just to talk to another human being and see what they're going through, because a lot of people are going through this, and when you can have a shared experience like this, it's usually a little helpful to get to a further space. So reach out, talk to people, help someone if you can, get yourself out of your own head, and make sure you have good support. You know, I've been hearing from people that, you know, everyone's going through this together, right? We're all going through it, but we're all processing it differently. Some people need people around, some people don't need people around. And for me, it depends on the hour, on the day. But what I want to make sure you have in your life is someone who's not going to dismiss what you're feeling or thinking, because you're going through what you're going through. And like I mentioned in my step 1, you got to feel it. And it's also the same with a friend. Like ideally, they can acknowledge it. Like, yeah, it's really hard what you're going through. This is really hard. As opposed to, oh, don't worry, it's nothing. You're making too much out of this. No, this is freaking hard, people. Homeschooling, you've got family, you used to have friends around you. And then what about your own self-care? I just see so many of us women giving and giving and giving, because that's who we are and it's what we do. But we have to give to ourselves, and that's just the last thing on everyone's list right now. As a woman, we keep not giving to ourselves because you're taking care of everything else. But you know, it's the old oxygen mask. If you don't put your own on, you can't help anyone else. So make time for yourself. And make sure you have friends who understand what you're going through and aren't dismissive on it, of anything you're going through. And if you need to hire a professional, do that. These are real feelings we're going through right now. This is real emotion. It's probably triggering things deep down, and it might be causing you to eat a lot. It might be causing you to react in ways you don't even know. You're like, where is this anger coming from? I'm not an angry person. So having a trained professional can help you dig under all of this. And of course, I'm a health and wellness coach. I'm also a meditation teacher. So I try to bring those two together to help you look at your patterns and why you're doing what you're doing and what's at the core and what's underneath all of that. Yeah, I want you to have the 6-pack abs if that's what you want, but more than that, I want you to feel good. And feeling good is eating well, but also nourishing your brain and your mind and your body and your life. And yeah, it's hard right now, but that's why we have to really pay attention to this. Okay, so that's reach out for help. Another way I think is important to help you get out of a funk is to shift your focus. Now, talking to friends, all of that is really helpful in shifting your focus and getting out and moving around, another great way to shift your focus. But one thing that I love to do when I'm really stuck and I can't get myself to think right, practice gratitude. You probably have heard of gratitude. You're like, yeah, I know to be grateful. No, really, you gotta double down on this practice right now. I really think I try to do this first thing in the morning when I wake up. What am I grateful for? Because it's so easy to slip into the, you wake up and you're like, this hurts and I gotta do this and I've gotta help this person and then there's this. It's tough to start your day on that kind of foot. If you start your day before your eyes are even open, what am I grateful for today? What is good? Sets a different frame. And then at the end of the day, I even like it at dinner if you're sharing dinner with people, or before you go to bed, put those happy thoughts into your brain. You're like, okay, it's not all bad. When we start to train ourselves to look for positive things, we will see more positive things. But I know I've been in the spiral where I'm so unhappy and can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's just like, well, that sucks. Well, of course that broke because everything sucks, right? You get into that spiral. So you really have to train yourself to look for the good. And you will see more. I promise you will see more if you start to look for more. I used to do this exercise where, actually in November, because it's Gratitude Month, coming right up, but now is a great time to start, of writing pen to paper, 10 things I was grateful for every day. And I remember thinking 10 is impossible. Who can do 10? But I really liked 10 because it caused me to go deeper. Like you can probably list 3 things like, your health, I've got a roof over my head and Wi-Fi, you could do that again and again and again. But when you go to 10, it's just this whole other level of specifics and details, like the sun is out today and the birds are singing and my hair looks good, whatever it is. Actually, my hair does not look good. I've had some issues with the hair salon. But there are still so many things to be grateful for if we look for them. So practice gratitude. And as far as shifting your focus, other ways to do that, do something you love. And it can be hard to think of something you love when you are in the middle of hate and fear and anger and frustration. But do it, find it. And again, I love my spontaneous dance parties to just shake things up. But yesterday people were commenting things like gardening or taking a quiet walk and listening to the birds and the crickets. Like find the simpleness. I've been enjoying the simple things lately. Like I said, I've been doing picnics outside and just noticing just a different way of life. It's a different tempo and I'm appreciating that. So see what you can do out there to shift your focus, practice some gratitude, do something you love with someone you love. And then the last thing I would say for getting yourself out of a funk, go gently. Let go of the uber productivity tasks and lists of achievement, like I've got to do all of these things and if I don't do them all, it's ruined. Yeah, that's setting yourself up with a lot of pressure. That said, there is something super nice and rewarding about crossing something off your to-do list. But what I would caution you on is just to break your tasks down into small little pieces. You're probably not going to start a new career tomorrow. If you're ready and you're amped, have at it. That's awesome. But maybe it's just one little step tomorrow. Maybe it's, I'm going to join a Facebook group on this interest I have, or I'm going to write a Facebook post about this. Find out small ways to do things on your to-do list. And hey, I think it's really great to have passion projects right now. Have a reason to get up in the morning, have something you're interested in, learning, teaching. growing, all of those things. Super great. So be gentle with yourself during this time. It is not easy, but try these things. Try feeling what you're feeling in your body. Try reaching out when you need it. Try just being gentle with yourself. And then at some point, you just need to trust. You need to trust in the process and trust things will get better, and have patience. It will happen. It will get better. And this is life. I know this is a bit of a dip, a little lower dip than we're used to, but we have highs and we have lows, and our highs are gonna be so sweet after this. We're gonna so appreciate it. So be gentle, take care of yourself. I hope everyone has a great week. Bye.